Hello and welcome to the Higher Lows podcast, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual plays podcast set in the world of Toraz. I'm Philip Martin, your Dungeon Master, and with me is Laurie Crawford.
Welcome back, everyone.
Next we've got Meeraiya.
Rick's still not here. He's currently taking swimming lessons.
We've also got Mimbo Wang.
Yeah, I'm here.
And last up for tonight, we've got Lizzie McPherson.
Hey, lovelies.
Unfortunately, Daniel Fletcher can't be with us again tonight. He's just not feeling well, but he might. We wish him well. Previously on the Higher Lows podcast, the group continued scouting this dwarven ruin and planned how to scavenge the supplies they found on the dead bodies in this large meeting room. They decided to try to use their range to their advantage and created a firing line to attack these potentially animated suits of armor, which turned out to be quite true. The fight began according to plan. Then as Thistle surged ahead, Callum and Baracus moved forward to take some heat off of her. The armor continued to have reasonably good defense against their attacks, however it was no match for the focused fire of the crew. After defeating these foes, they began scavenging the additional pies, of which the main prizes were a short bow and some thieves' tools, among a few other things. Callum noticed some heat coming from the wall to the south and began to investigate. With Thistle's assistance, they realized there was a hidden door in this section of the wall. They took up defensive positions and opened the hidden door, noticing two more sets of armor waiting at the end of a hall, behind which appeared to be some kind of smithy or something with some rusty anvils. They're not really sure yet. The group strategized on how to defeat these additional obstacles, and by using the light coming from this room to their advantage, they created a new firing range, this time at far long range. After several encounters with these armor, this fight seemed to go fairly well, as the group pretty well seemed to learn how to use their skills well together at this point. And this is where we'll begin, with the group freshly out of combat and looking to investigate this secret room beyond.
I would approach Thistle and slap her on the back and say, much better.
Ow.
Now, that's how you fight as a proper unit. Now, let's go see towards our spoils.
I'll walk over and grab the torch she dropped and give it back to her. Yeah.
It's like, this was like, I'm assuming this is like the half-burned one that the halfling had fallen with. So it's sort of continuing to burn down.
Oh no, I thought there was one dropped at basically at the ground. At the ground, it was lit.
Yeah, that was just lit because it was on the ground, ready to go.
Perfect.
There is light coming from this room as well.
I suppose let's tentatively enter. Unless anyone has anything else to say.
Oh, let's just go in.
Okay. Start going in down this hallway, and you can feel some heat emanating from this room, and it does start to get a little bit intense. Not unbearably so, but it does start to get quite hot as you start going in this room, and you notice light coming from to your right as you enter this room. It's like flickering a little bit, and it does seem to be where the heat's coming from as well.
Oh, before I do enter, I'd quickly dash back and go, don't want to forget this, and pick up the short bow.
Yep.
Does it look like the doorway that we're entering in, this will open that time, does it look like it can close?
Yes.
Like as in, okay, so is there a way to prevent it from kind of closing on us, or?
So there's like a stone that this will press with her foot to move it, and it doesn't fully slide out. That stone is still there as like a lock.
Okay, as a lock. Okay, sounds good.
So you can sort of either lock it open or closed, or just like leave it free.
Does anyone have any chalk? If not, I'm going to scrape a rudimentary message on the wall next to the passage in Gnomish and just tweak, we've gone this way.
Okay, you can do that.
Hopefully the little guy sees it.
Well, it depends on how high up you wrote it.
Belly button height, so he's high level.
That's good.
Oh yeah, I might stealth ahead of these guys just a little bit, unless someone comes with you.
You can go stealth if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll come ahead.
That'd be 22 for me.
Okay.
That's a 16 for me.
Cool. Yep, you guys can go ahead. Nothing seems to come out and notice you, that you notice at least.
I'd do a hand signal to Baracus and Chuck just to follow up. Then I guess proceed to the next corner.
Yeah, so it opens up as you go down this sort of short tunnel. It's just about like sort of 40 feet. And you've got these, you can notice that there's these anvils in front of you in the middle of the room. And then the room continues onward.
Okay.
And they look fairly worn, these anvils.
They look, a bit rusty and worn, but still serviceable in the way that a good anvil will sort of always be.
Considering there's an anvils here, there might be weapons.
And as you like feel that heat source coming over, like that's hot. That's like forge hot.
How much birth does it look like we'd need to take to kind of, because they can get real hot.
Look, it's hot in this room. You just need to not get within like sort of 10, 15 feet of it before it becomes a proper issue.
Sure.
And that's on the to your right as you enter the room.
Yeah.
How far are you going into the room?
Well, there doesn't seem to be any of those statues around. I asked the rest.
There is something that looks like it could be just sort of on the edge of the light, but it on the left side of the room as you continue on. Baracus and Thistle and Callum, you would also notice there is a pit in the middle of the room, like a 10 by 10 pit.
Okay.
Well, sort of not in the middle of the room. Sort of you got this sort of the close section of the room where the anvils are. Beyond that is the pit, and then beyond that the room continues, and you see this figure on the left side as you enter.
How far is this figure away from the pit?
Probably about 20 feet.
20. Yeah, I just walk over to the edge of that pit and peer down.
Yeah. It just appears to be like a bit of scrap metal, although it does seem to be pretty low, and the stuff down there seems to be a bit crappy and rusted. But we do have access to what seems to be a forge.
If only our blacksmith were here. Well, hopefully Tweak finds us soon enough.
Looking around the room, you can sort of see tools here and there scattered around.
Well, I'm going to start collecting those up.
Okay. You get a set of smith tools and a set of glassblower tools.
Fancy.
There's also like a few incomplete weapon blades and heads, quite rusty at this point though, since they were unfinished.
But with a bit of work,
Oh.
they could potentially be salvaged.
You have a forge.
Yeah? No, awesome.
You're not sure how it's still burning.
We,
Do we do something with this, or do we keep moving on?
I think we do something with this. We have a lot of metal. And I've got a rusty blade. And wouldn't call myself a smith, any of the means, but I feel like I could prepare some weapons. I don't have another longsword, and the only one I've got is rusty, and I'm probably a couple fights away from that thing breaking on me completely.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Scimitar, dagger, they're just not going to be the same weapons for me.
Do any of these scraps look like they could be forged a little bit into a longsword?
I'll lose.
You go, Ash.
Let's go for highs there.
Not really. Not easily. Like, yes, there is like a longsword blade. It's quite rusty, so you sort of almost have to redo it.
Bugger.
The scraps in that pit there, do they look worse or better metal than I have on me? The scimitar, the daggers and things.
Worse. Definitely
Okay.
worse. Like more ancient. Definitely workable. Like, and you'd be able to work a couple of weapons out of the scrap. A few weapons actually, if you spend the time. But yeah, you would need smithing ability. There are whetstones around. You could just sharpen the blade a little bit. That might get a little bit more life of it. But there is like, let's say there's like two whetstones around.
Yeah, perfect. I'll just for now take I'll take both of the whetstones. And I mean we should just push on and I will just sharpen this blade as best I can. If it breaks, then I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So
Figure it out.
basically beyond this pit, there's like 10 foot like sort of passage on either side. You can see this figure standing there. Doesn't look quite the same as the suit of armors that you've been fighting, but similar shape. And then you can sort of see that room opens up beyond.
Is this statue kind of off to the side, ornamental? Does it seem like it's blocking the path in a way?
It sort of seems like it's in the middle, standing there. Like, give
Yeah, that
me
tells something.
um. I mean, as you get closer, it's not too far from where you are. Like as you stand into it, it seems to be like I say, as you get to the edge of the pit, you can kind of see it on the edge of your vision. It appears to be made out of maybe wood or something like similar like that, and has like little like arms poking out of it, little wooden bits coming out of it. Not really arms, but like branches.
Wooden and bits poking out of it, and in a place as hot as this.
You also see at your distance, you see on the again to your right as you're looking down, you see some a workbench and some boxes and crates near it, and on the eastern side, on your left, you see a great axe and a heavy crossbow mounted on a wall.
Do they look like they are kind of cocked in a way? I mean, you could tell that easily off the crossbow. Is it? Is it?
No, not cocked.
Okay, well, I'll leave that and I will kind of move around the pit carefully towards those crates. I'm assuming they're closed off, not open to see.
Yep, they're closed.
I'll walk over and see if I can open one, investigate.
I'd probably follow him a bit, but just keep an eye on that wooden thing.
Yep. So you're just opening one of the crates.
I feel like I should do a kind of a look
This
or a investigation of sorts, or
There are 6 crates.
6.
And there are also 3 small boxes. And then there's this work table.
I check somewhat, maybe if there's any anything iffy going on there.
You can do a perception check.
19.
Yep, 19. Yep. No, nothing.
Nothing kind
don't
of
notice any-
shouts out. Yep.
Okay, so 19. Okay, so you do. Okay, so you're specifically checking out the workbench and stuff. Yeah, you don't really notice anything. You notice some tools on the workbench, saws and stuff.
And Callum's closer to that statue, probably looking over that statue, yeah?
Yeah, if you guys are taking a bit, I might start slowly approaching, weapon in hand, just in case. Not trying to, like, go forcefully, just unprepared, that's all.
I mean, like, yeah, like, Baracus is probably, if Baracus, like, hugged the wall, would have been able to stay 30 feet away from this thing.
Just going to start opening crates.
Okay, inside the crate you open is a whole bunch of hatchet heads, like light axe heads.
Next.
A whole bunch of warhammer heads.
I'll just keep going through the 6.
Okay, so you also find battle axe heads, light hammer heads, 20 of each, and then you find 40 sort of shafts for either light axes or light hammers, and 40 shafts for either battle axe or war hammers.
And those axe heads and whatever, they all look in pretty good nick.
They actually look serviceable. Not all of them, like a few of them have suffered a little bit of rust. But yeah, they might take a little bit of work, but these are workable.
Might be better than that sword you got.
Yeah, just thinking that over.
Where are you right now, Callum?
Probably trying to position myself between him and the wooden thing.
Okay, so did you follow him on the left side, or did you follow, or go down the other side?
I probably would have followed him. So
Okay.
there's a good chance I'm within 30 feet of the thing.
No, it doesn't respond to you.
Because I don't know where it is, in theory.
When you get to within 30, well, what's your blind sight?
20,
feet?
yeah.
Yeah, so you just know where it is because it's pointed out to you.
Statue in the center.
Oh, just one sec. What are Thistle and Chuck doing right now?
Just taking it easy.
Are you
Having
in
a
the
look around the room
boardroom?
to see.
Or...
I thought I was with everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I'm sort
So
of
just looking
assuming you're
around.
back. I'm assuming you're back at the anvils in the pit right now, because you haven't said you've gone beyond that point.
Oh, sorry. No, I would have moved ahead with the group.
Okay, so you're sort of there with probably just with Callum, or are you checking out the workbench or with Baracus?
I'll hang out with Callum. He's cool.
What about you, Chuck? What have you been doing?
He's a teenager. He's just gonna mill around.
Did you follow the group into the secret room, or are you still just hanging out on the
No,
stage?
no, I followed the person into the secret room for sure.
Yeah. So you're just like hanging out, and you just hanging out at the back with the back of the anvils.
Indeed.
Cool. There, you can sit on an anvil. It's a little bit rusty, but yeah, you've dealt with worse at this point. Okay. Just wanted to get a sense of where everyone was.
They're like a Game Boy for this particular time period because I could kind of see Chuck playing on like a
I was thinking
Game
that
Boy.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shut up, Mum. I need to save the game.
He misses his cup and ball.
The old D&D Game Boy.
Yeah, so you have these crates filled with these weapon heads and shafts, and then across the way you have this axe, the great axe, and this crossbow mounted on the wall, and you also have these 3 small cases, and some tools on the workbench there, and then you also have this dummy that you've noticed. Anything? What do people do?
What's in those small ones?
Getting to those, I'll move on to the small boxes after.
Actually, those 3 small ones would actually be over on the other side, on a shelf with the crossbow and the axe.
Oh, closer to them too.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we make our way to the other side of the room? Keep an eye on that wooden dude.
Well, we have nothing else to do, so let's go.
Okay, so who's going first?
I guess I will.
Well, I guess I'm gonna then have to stand guard at the at this statue just in case.
So you're keeping distance from this statue. Callum, you walk ahead, and as you step around the statue, moving to the other side of the room, a whole bunch of darts fling out at the wall.
That's not fun.
So I got 2 crits and a hit. So that means it's going to do 5d4 of damage. 7.
I'm down.
Yeah, you take 16 damage as 4 darts just launch themselves at the wall at you. And you collapse.
Do I see these?
You all see this. It happened. You're very close by.
I'm further out, right?
You're a bit further away, but you see this.
Can you do anything, Thistle?
Yeah, I was going to send out a healing word out to him just to get him up.
Yep, you can do a healing word. Roll
Sweet.
your help. Roll the d4. What do you
Yeah.
say? What do you say? What's the word?
Bird.
Stop slacking off.
Callum, you're not allowed to die. You're the only normal one here when Tweak's not around. I actually got a full 4.
Oh, nice.
So it's a total like 7.
Yep.
Cool. And you realize, Callum, that as you step forward, you stepped onto a pressure plate.
Don't step
And
there.
It's basically a 10 by 20 foot space. To get around this pressure plate, you will have to either go all the way down south to the room, and you see that there is actually a door to the very south of this room. And at this range, you can also see a small cabinet by that door. Or you will have to get quite close to this wooden dummy that you're pretty sure it's just a wooden dummy of some sort.
Could we use something to just trigger the pressure plate over and over? There's no way this has unlimited darts.
Yeah. You could try that. We need to get something heavy.
Or just keep the thing depressed.
Give me a hand with one of those crates.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just push it on.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, you can do that, and 4 more darts just fling out.
Wanna stay low.
And
And it just stays down at this point. Actually, how would it move? No, as the darts up and down, they would just keep on firing. Actually,
free darts.
Eventually, how many darts is it again?
We had a person who used them. That would be an absolute
Yeah.
free supply.
I asked him if I could bum a dart. Got way too many.
So there's 60 darts. Actually, no, it'd be 80.
Almost a whole carton.
It would be 80 darts.
They didn't happen to line up with that wooden guy, so he's like filled with darts.
No. The wooden guy is not really a guy, though. It's just not moving at all.
Yeah. Oh, does it look like one of those training things? Like,
A little bit.
Yeah.
Short, like, wooden limb arms poking out of it. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, at this point, yeah, that pressure plate with the darts is pretty much disarmed. It did its job, so...
Stupid dart trap.
It was more deadly than I thought it was going to be, actually.
Well, I'm happy if you go ahead, Bragg. I feel a little bit sore now.
Yeah, sure. I'm tempted to take that great axe over there, though. It's not going to be... I'm not going to be able to swing it as well, but it looks heavy.
Does look heavy. Looks quite well made as well.
How about the crossbow? Same kind of marksmanship.
Looks like it looks like a very well made crossbow. It's stood the test of time, whatever wood it's made out of.
I'm gonna duck my head, make sure I'm not lined up to any dart holes on the other side of the walls, and kind of try to take these weapons off their sconces.
Yeah, and there's also the 3 small cases over this side as well.
While you do that, I start pulling darts out of my chest.
You will have to get quite close to the dummy in order to do this. But if you hug the wall, you can sort of maintain 15 feet from it.
I'd follow up with him and try and stay in between him and the dummy.
Okay, high or lows?
Lows.
Okay, so you sort of slip your foot a little bit closer to the dummy, because that was quite a low roll. I rolled a 12. And it sort of, as you press down, you notice another pressure plate, and the dummy swings. But it doesn't quite have the range in order to hit you.
That could have been hilarious. Don't step there.
And I actually said I walked in low, but I kind of was... I'll say it this time. I am going to be paying very close attention on where I walk
Give me a perception check.
And the weight on which I put my feet. Yeah, I'll take a 10.
10. I mean, you notice the 2 pressure plates you've already uncovered.
and that Callum's noticed for me. All right, that's 2. No one stepped there.
Don't notice any others.
On that
And if
note,
I don't,
oh,
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're right.
I was just going to say on that note, I probably would look around a bit. I don't want to go 3 for 3.
Perception.
That'd just be embarrassing.
15.
You don't notice anything additional. Yeah, you have a good look. You have a good sort of look, like feel around with your blind sight. And yeah, these 2 pressure plates. You feel like you would have noticed them if you'd, in hindsight, but you didn't look.
I'm gonna mark these pressure points.
I suppose with a 15 perception, like it's sort of like these almost don't feel like traps. It's almost like they're just training exercises, but like the markings have gone, like faded. You sort of notice there was like sort of some like sort of almost like the things you get at like a train station, the bumps around them, but they've faded over time.
Yeah, so maybe you might be doing the dart one for defending yourself or something, and the other wooden guy takes a swing, and you kind of block that off.
Yeah, like once upon a time, these were obvious installments, but you know, for you, they weren't.
I'll just use the dagger closest to the wall, the door where Chuck is at, and I will kind of just scratch into the ground, trap, capital T. And then the other 3 things we've seen, I'll just capital T those just for the people coming in behind.
I think those are the first traps of the campaign. If you guys had gone to the Kobold area, there would have been more traps.
Note to self, don't go to Kobold area.
But like, Kobolds are notorious for that sort of thing. But yeah, you pick up this great axe, and you can pick up the heavy crossbow, and you have these 3 small cases. Give me a knowledge check as you pick up this axe. It's intelligence or history or smith's tools or...
Having a look, nothing's really gonna help, so I'll just flat roll. 14.
This axe is very good and seems to be especially sharp given their age. It's definitely made out of this is not a steel axe, but you're not 100% sure what it is. It seems very strong, very sharp, given that it's just been sitting here for a long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that. I'll try to strap it to my back, and kind of lift the crossbow. Obviously, not getting out from in front of it, and just lift it. Kind of appraise it, and just say to everyone, does anyone know how to use this weapon? The crossbow, is anyone specialty?
It is a heavy crossbow, so it's not going to be like Tweak's going to be too small to use this.
And I'm too blind to use it, but I can.
Definitely of martial worth, but it looks very good make.
I mean, if anything, we should just take it with us. Sounds like where we're headed kind of operates on a trade system, bartering system, so this would be worth a lot, I'd say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just figured if someone can use it in the meantime, but if not, I'll tag it and bag it.
I guess while he's looking at those, I'll go over to the first box, have a quick look. Carefully go over to the boxes.
Yeah, the little cases.
Yeah.
Watch the floor.
Crossbow bolts.
All of them?
3 cases full of 20 crossbow bolts each. Fresh, relatively fresh, but just a little bit musty. But since they've been in the case, they seem to be fairly well preserved.
I'll hold on to them for now. Tweak might want them later. If not, we can use it with this guy.
Yeah, and as you've sort of like, and as you would have gone in, you noticed the tools over on the workbench. Those are, those would be suitable for a carpenter.
I'll also pick them up and add them to my woodworking set. So now I've got enough to do carving and carpentry. Perfect.
How long does it look like it would take if I just tried my hand using those smith tools picked up there and just try to put one of these nice warhammer heads onto a haft?
Right. I would say it'd be a disadvantage. It'd be an intelligence roll since none of you currently here are skilled. You could get someone to help to make it a straight roll, but it'd still be.
I could potentially help, and Thistle could look over the shoulder with a bit of guidance. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I suppose I could give him some guidance.
I mean, I expect that, Callum, you're pretty good with your hands and kind of like doing that finer work. So see if you can't help me forge your head on this thing. I'm going to try. Which weapon should I try to forge?
So you can try a warhammer, a battle axe, a light hammer, or a throwing axe. Like a light axe.
I think the warhammer is going to represent the longsword best it could, given its weight as kind of picking up the head. And yeah, I think I'm going to go for a warhammer.
Okay, you can roll straight intelligence with guidance, I suppose.
Yep, sorry, just checking one thing on the martial weapon. Cool. I think I can go either warhammer or battle axe.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be advantage and possibly get a d4 if I'm lucky. All right.
No, just
Okay.
a straight roll because you're not skilled in this, so it's a straight roll plus a d4.
Okay. I'll re-roll that because I rolled them together. Okay, so it's 15, and you had to roll the 4 on the d4. Okay.
Yeah, you start taking your warhammer, and you sort of take the head, and yeah, like with a bit of hammering, a bit of shaping of the shaft, yeah, you can sort of get it on there, and it feels reasonably secure. Takes you a little bit of time, but with like sort of Callum's help, just holding stuff, like with maybe Callum's like assistance on the carpentry side of things, helps.
I
Yeah.
I toss it to Callum and I say, that felt really good. I kind of want to do it again. I want to try battle axe.
Oh, working with your hands is fun.
This way, you can help me again.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to send him some guidance.
Thank you. Not great. 5.
You guys are working on this shaft. A spectral figure comes out of the door to the south. I should also say there is a tunnel going east on the south, and if you look down there, it went east a short distance before turning back north. But as you're doing this, a spectral figure walks through, I should say, the door to the south as, right, you contractors, you're finally here, ready for work. Good. Get them axes made. We gotta get ready for the battle.
We're still looking for materials. Give us a moment.
Everything's right there. Get started. Get started. If we can make it in time for the battle, I'll give you your bonuses. And we will do a skill challenge.
Awesome!
Went for a deception there, didn't if it stuck.
Damn it. The one person that could have carried us through is not here.
It's going to be a very open skill challenge. For people that don't know, well, this is our first one, so we'll maybe give a little bit of an explanation, both to the players and the audience. I am encouraging creativity weird things, like you're supporting your team, you're making these axes, you're looking at your knowledge of how to do things, you might be like looking for imperfections in the materials or different things. I'm opening this up to pretty wacky creative things. If you sort of give me a skill and be like, I use this to do this, or we'll either work together to try to make that work, or like maybe work together to get something better. I want you to use different skills if you can, just to kind of keep it interesting, because this is going to be like a very open skill challenge, unlike when we did like the swim skill challenge, which was like very athletics based.
So use one of our skills and then block that one off for the rest of the challenge.
Yeah, but like ideally so, or maybe I might even give you like a penalty. Yeah, I'd say try not to use it again. But like athletics for like just hammering, different things. But
Let's
I
do it.
encourage
Okay.
creativity. We will do a little initiative, just to sort of get an order going. And there are rewards depending on how well you do.
I like rewards.
And if you don't do well, you will not get the rewards.
I like rewards. Don't screw up, boys.
I hope that means that there's no punishments then, so that's good. I got a
I'm a
12.
spectral slave driver.
Well, for Callum,
Can I even see this guy?
fair question. You can feel something in like a little bit of something.
Kind of like how you can only half see a ghost. I can only half see you blindsight wise.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. There's some, they've got a little bit of corporeal, like, physicality to them. So what was everyone else's initiative? Thistle?
I got 12.
12 as well. Baracus?
12, would you believe?
12. Chuck, should we just put you down for a 12?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, fine.
Everyone got 12.
Yeah, 12. Alright, who wants to go first then?
That's
Keeps things
brilliant.
simple. Who would like to go first? You got a whole bunch of crates. You got these
I
crates.
think Meeraiya should go first.
Right, we
these
need 20.
smitzels.
Yeah, we basically,
Let's go.
right, we need 20 of each. I'll tell you what you need to do if you need some pointers. But basically, you just need to put them in and fasten them on, whatever you got. Let's get it done.
Right, boss.
Who wants to go first?
I think Meeraiya should go first.
Who's got something they want to throw out for this?
I'm going
challenge?
first. I've got
Alright,
something
Baracus.
forming like a plan.
What you got?
All right. So he wants me to build 20 of. Was there any mention of what?
20 of each. So 20 warhammers, 20 battle axes, 20 light hammers, and 20 hand axes. We need them before the battle. Get chirking. I've heard you contractors are all right sometimes.
Get Warhammer's up, and I'll get to work.
As long as you're not slacking off. You don't have that dwarven work ethic. Get to work.
Okay, I am going to be throwing all my force into this, force and aggression into this, but also I'm going to try a little bit of delicate work and try to etch some infernal and abyssal runes on it.
Hey, what skill are you using?
Yeah, well, I would have thought athletics, but yeah,
Okay, just
I'm
use
thinking athletics. Yeah,
Sure, you're just using athletics to sort
athletics
of
work.
hammer these things in with your infernal magics. And putting in some, like, just hammering them in with this infernal hammering rune you know of.
Feverishly start hammering away. Try to get better with these tools.
Alright,
Okay.
roll your athletics.
Roll athletics. Okay, coming up. Oh. So, 20.
20, that is
20
a
unnatural.
success. You are successfully getting some of these warhammers work, like, push hammering them in with your like infernal magics. Yep, that's good. And you're just like, you're getting a sweat, but you're getting it done. That is a success. One of the success column. Okay, who wants to go next? Anyone got something?
Yeah, I'll go. Are these shafts wooden by any chance?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to start I'll grab a few and I'll start trying to like, you know how you put the wedge in the end of a hammer, that kind of stuff. I'll be starting to make proper wedges and make sure that they're sized correctly and try and
Yeah.
use my woodcarver's check for that.
I want you got this.
Would that be dex based, int based? What do you think?
Dex based, I would say.
Not good. That's a nat one.
That one. It's one in the fail column, unfortunately for Callum. Okay, so Brackets is doing a good job of just working on these hammers, just sort of hammering away, just getting them in there using these infernal magics. Callum is sort of cleaning up some of these shafts that need a bit more work. Thistle and Chuck. So basically, you've got these boxes of heads and shafts. Some of them could use a bit of work, like potentially, sharpen them with some whetstones or something like that. Or maybe you could encourage the team. Maybe you could like look into your own, look deeper inside yourself for something more. You could look around the room for help. I don't know. What do you guys? Who would like to go next, and what would you like to do?
Yeah, I have an idea. So, I'm not really proficient in carving or in creating weapons, so I'm gonna focus on resources around the room to make healing kits, because like if we fall down, well, we're gonna need some healing.
You give me a perception roll.
Okay. 14.
14, that is just a success. So you're looking around the room looking for supplies. You actually notice that the cabinet by the door of this room, and this was there anyway, you go over and you have a look and you notice that there's actually like an old first aid sign on that door. So you go open that up and you notice a healer's kit and a potion of healing. So that was
I'm
there.
gonna come with him.
Yeah, that was there anyway, but we'll make it part of the skill challenge. Why not?
Oh,
Yeah, cool.
got to keep with OH&S.
Chuck.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Yeah, so
nice.
you have
Nice attempt.
a healer's kit and a potion of healing. Chuck, what would you like to do? You can inspire
good
your
question.
team. You could supervise. You could
Yeah,
use...
I'm gonna try to inspire my team with persuasion. Or
That's
maybe
good.
deception. Deception would be funny, right? Like, to inspire them.
Maybe, well, yeah, start with one and finish with the other, maybe?
Yeah, you're going really good, Callum. That was really good work.
Yeah, so I rolled a
Scream with
17
sarcasm.
and I have a +7 to deception, so it is a 24.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
your first
Callum,
highest roll.
you think you're doing a really good job, or at least you feel better. Like, even though you know you're not, you think at least someone thinks it's good. Yeah, I'm
Hey.
gonna keep going.
Thanks, Chuck.
You're welcome.
Maracus, round 2.
All right,
You got 3
abyssal
successes
time.
and 1 fail. You're doing well.
Going for abyssal this time.
So I'll tell you right now, 4 successes, you get the first reward. 8 successes, you get the second reward. 4 fails, you don't make it in time.
Come on, nat 20, and you get something special for nat 20, obviously.
Probably not.
Damn it, I needed to roll one right then. Let's say 17.
15, that's a success. What are you doing? Well, what are you doing though?
Okay, so looking at the first one that I kind of pulled together, I try to work from that. Completely different runes. Going for abyssal, real hellish looking war hammer.
What skill are you doing?
I'm gonna use athletics again for this one.
Athletic. Oh, you already used athletics. Got to use something else.
Oh, okay, all right. So let's flavor it then, because I did say runes and hellish, and let's go for
Arcana, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, Arcana.
Okay. And what did you roll? You rolled a 17 on the dice.
No, so it's a 30. It brings it down to 13.
Ooh, that is just a fail. You're still putting in these runes, but they're just not coming out quite as good as they were before. And right, I suppose that you're allowed to put your mark in since you're making them, but it's not very good work there. The other ones were alright though, but on these axes, it's not looking as good.
Next one's gonna be better. You just wait and see. I've got something.
Alright,
That's me.
right, it better. Callum.
I'm going to kind of just step back for a second and just observe the others, or observe Baracus, and just kind of just when he's just about to do his next thing, I'm just no wait you should be doing this here, and use a perception check to just kind of give him a hand.
Yeah, he's using perception checks to supervise. So I think that means only Baracus is doing work at this point, but that's okay. That's okay. Yep, you're doing perception.
It's doing work.
23.
That's a success. Yeah, so you notice as Callum is working on the runes, you're like, yeah, if you do it, if you twist it around this way and like do it on this and do it this way, you give him the help him out so he can start doing better runes on these axes. Awesome. Thistle.
Yes. So you said before, what were the two items I think that you could whittle with? I can't remember.
I mean, you've got like the carpenter's tools over there. Callum has access to woodcarver's tools. You're trying to make axes, hammers, warhammers, and battle axes. You have the forge over there. You could try to do something with.
I'll do something with the forge.
Okay. Would you like to try to do with the forge? What skill have you got that you might do something with the forge? Skills
That's what I'm trying to think about. My best ones probably have nothing to do with that. Oh, maybe survival.
I'll tell you what. As Baracus was doing the runes on the axe, he cut himself a little bit and he's bleeding. There's an extra. That was a fail, so there's an extra nick in the work.
Yeah, alright. Well, then I'll heal him.
So you could try a medicine check to sort of patch that.
Medicine check. Yep, too easy. 21?
That's a success. Yeah, so you're all working together over with Baracus as he's working on these axes. Chuck!
Yup.
What would you like to try to do? Something creative. Get creative.
Get creative. What's the ultimate goal?
I mean, at the moment, to make these axes and hammers, at the moment, everyone's sort of over there working with Baracus as he cut himself, and Callum sort of pointing out a better way to do things while Thistle is healing, and everyone's sort of over in a clump. You've used your deception to convince Callum that he was doing a good job, so, I don't know, you could try to...
Can I use my sleight of hand to stop him from hurting himself again?
Or like a guiding hand or something.
You could use like sleight of hand. Yeah, I was thinking like you could do sleight of hand almost to like put, I don't know, something in front of people just to make it easier, or just put it in there, like just to remind them that they need to get back to work.
Sure.
Hey, give me a sleight of hand roll.
16 plus 5, 21.
Yeah, or maybe you're even like you're juggling axe heads, being like, hey, look at this, look at this.
Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect.
Yeah,
juggling axe heads sounds fun.
Yeah, with that sleight of hand check, you can juggle axe heads. Sweet. So that is 6 successes, 2 fails going into round 3. And Baracus, what do you got?
Okay, I'm going to use a deception check to make it, with everyone crowded around me, to make it appear we have created something amazing.
Yep. Give me a roll.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Deceptive.
You, even though you know the way you've carved these runes on this axe, it's not good, but you managed to convince everyone that this axe is the fucking bee's knees. And you know, you've got this. Just make a couple more of these and we're done. So you got pretty much, actually, you got like the warhammers are all done, the battle axes are all done.
Kind of holding it above my head in like victory, and then when he kind of peers in to look at it, I'll bring it back down to the group and, oh wow, can't believe it.
Yeah, and then you've got Chuck over there just juggling hand axe heads. So you've just got the light hammers and the hand axes to go at this point, really. Callum.
So we're really just a circus. I am going to try an athletics and start trying to force some of the axe heads in. Was it axe heads or hammer heads we had left?
Both.
Oh.
Hand axes and light hammers.
Let's go with the light hammers then. And just kind of athletic my way into it.
18 plus 5 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 plus
I ain't rolling good today. That's 5.
That's a 5. Okay, you start trying to get these hammers onto these heads, but you sort of start jarring. Start jarring. You smash your hand with
Another
the light
injury.
hammer, and that is 2 fails for Callum. You're now at 3 fails, 7 successes. So I will give Thistle and Chuck. You good to go. Whatever
Sweet.
you roll will determine how this ends. So who's feeling lucky? I'm not gonna say who needs to go. Whoever thinks they've got something, you guys can talk
I
amongst
got
yourself.
something.
Okay, are you happy with that?
Given
Mark?
my roles, it definitely should not be me.
2 successes. You can roll well in this. And
Okay.
as you hurt yourself, the dwarven ghost goes, "Oh, that's terrible, guys. Damn contractors don't know how to get a job done."
OHS
Um,
boss.
Before I go healing Callum's hand, I'm going to shillelagh the wood onto the axe heads.
Shillelagh the wood onto the axe heads.
You mean like Druidcraw?
Yeah.
Give you a survival check to work with the woods. That's the best I can do.
Okay. Nat 20, 25.
Ah, that's a good way to finish it.
Right.
Oh,
As you're getting into it, the guy, "Well, I suppose that's why we all hire contractors. Some of you do know how to work the wood. That's good. That's good. Right.
Your
well, he likes me.
only problem was doubting us.
Right then. I'll go open up the shaft." And he goes over to a panel over on the western. You didn't notice it before, but he sort of he presses a button and opens a panel, and he says, "Right, load up the crates."
Load up the crates.
Before we load up the crates, I just want to give Callum some healing word to kind of heal his hand a little bit.
Oh no,
If you
I'm
want.
fine.
You're doing fine, you don't need it?
Save it.
Okay.
Yep. So you're gonna have to load up these 4 crates full with 20 each onto a conveyor belt behind a hidden wall.
I'll start loading.
Alright, get it done, and then I'll get you a reward so you're ready for battle. Now that we're done, you gonna join the fight, yeah?
Where
As
else?
long as I get the bonuses.
Right, that was the deal. Damn contractors always needing payment, but that's alright. If you're gonna join the fight, you'll probably die, and we'll get it back anyway. Presses some more buttons, and basically the 4 crates get sent down the line. Somewhere mysterious, and then presses some more buttons, and it closes.
Just goes into a pit of lava, melts away.
Alright then, come in me office. Now for your pay. You did good job. You didn't make too many messed ups. You didn't fuck up too badly. So will you give you both your things? Alright, he goes over to the wall and presses another sort of button, and he says, "Alright, and here you go then." And he pulls out a set of very nice looking splint mail, and then goes over to a second safe, presses a button, and comes out with it's not even pressing a button. It's more like it's an unlocking thing. Like he's unlocking the safe, and he pulls out a very nice looking shield of definite dwarven make. Well, hopefully this will keep you alive until the big battle happens. These damn goblins have been a problem. I better get going too. If you ever need a job, Jerkin Steelcoat will hire you again. And then he fades away.
Good riddance. Goodbye.
Bye, sir.
He was awfully rude.
What about my kiss?
I'll give you one.
Well, I'm guessing Baracus has very big eyes about that split mail.
Yeah,
Are you already naked?
it's already happened.
We turn around, you're butt naked, putting on your splint armor.
Okay, so give me an investigation roll as you check out this splint armor. It's a
Can do
bit
that.
different to what you're used to. with advantage because you know your way around armor.
Oh, yeah. I definitely needed that. 19. Yeah, 19.
As you're putting on this armor, you notice that it has a sort of a mechanism in sort of where would it be? It would be like on the sort of the belt of the armor, and if you twist it, the whole thing will come off, and you'll be able to cast it off very quickly. You'll be able to doff your armor very quickly. You can't don. It still takes time to put it on, but if you ever wanted to get it off in a hurry, that could be done.
This could come handy. It looks really easy to get out of. You see that? You see this rivet? Basically, this pops off, makes it real easy.
Interesting design.
And this shield looks nice. Like, it looks very nice.
Do you mind if I upgrade? Grab that shield and this'll. Do you want my old one?
What type of shield do you have?
It's made of mushroom wood.
Basically, it looks like a mushroom. It's kind of a perfect shield for you, really.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I imagine with your druidic heritage, you wouldn't want to use the metal one.
Oh no, the thing is just like my grandmother would be disgusted at me if I was to use such a thing.
Well, I pass my old one off to you and have a look at this other one.
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh, can I ask what type of shield it is?
Oh,
Like,
it's just
sorry.
a normal shield. It's
Okay.
not. It's kind of small, almost buckler style, but like a little bit bigger. But it's literally made out of the head of a mushroom, a really hard one, like a petrified one, turned into a shield.
Okay. Okay, so it's just basic shield. Cool. Thanks. I just wanted to ask about that.
Your shield, though, Laurie, it's quite well made. You can add an extra 1 AC.
Oh,
Nice.
You're not aware that it's magical, but it is a very nice shield, and mechanically, you can add +1 to your AC.
How does it feel? Light? Maneuverable?
at this I'm used to. No offense to the mushroom shield, it did me well, but this feels much better make.
Well, yeah, this is a steel shield.
Yeah.
With a bit of, like, you can't really see it very well, but there is some dwarven filigree on there. But you guys don't really know a lot about dwarven history.
Oh, I'm learning.
Could I do a history check or something?
With disadvantage?
Okay.
Might
12.
just use the opportunity to take a look at the book.
You, in your travels, you would have encountered maybe a few, like some smatterings of hill dwarfs around, and you would have heard that there were other dwarves that were more mountain dwarves, and they had their own god, as part of the whole calamity, the god wars that you guys are sort of that has been happening during most of your life, and this looks to be there. This doesn't look hill dwarf. This looks mountain dwarf.
Okay. No, that's cool.
There is a desk in the room. Again, there are some tools and some stuff on there. And there is also just the desk. There seems to be a...
Can
yeah. Sorry, yeah?
Can I go through the desk while the men are gearing up for battle?
Yes, you can. Like, yeah, they're checking out their new shield and armor, probably just absorbed in their new toys as they get used to it. On the desk, you see a set of, like, fine tools. They look to be jeweler's tools. You also see a magnifying glass. And there's a silver pendant with set with an emerald gemstone, which it looks a little bit broken, like it was being worked on. There is also two drawers. If you look behind the desk, there are two drawers, like a top one and then a bigger bottom one.
Okay, so once I'm done with the desk, I turn to the drawers and I say to Chuck, do you want to go through the drawers with me? If he's still busy with his like D&D Game Boy, well then I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah, what's Chuck doing after working on the things, or did you just get distracted again?
Yes, I'm constantly distracted because I seem to sometimes talk to myself, have full-on conversations.
Chasing butterflies.
Not frittery. Like I'll basically be in a corner somewhere.
This all checks out. Yeah, so there is a drawer. What would you like to do, Thistle?
Try and open it.
It's locked.
Can I try and shimmy it?
It's locked. You could try to force it, but yeah, you could try to force it.
Yeah, I'll try to force it.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
18.
You managed to force this thing. Roll me a d6.
Oh god, no. 4.
You hear a lot of glass breaking as you open up this drawer. Let me just roll something. Okay, you open up this drawer, and as you do, you hear a whole bunch of clink, 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 and there's a whole bunch of things breaking. And then you see what appear to be potions still in there.
Whoops.
No! See dripping from the corner of the desk and like put my head under and drink it. Actually don't, but
Need those to live.
There also appear to be another two like little kits with a first aid sign on them. You suspect they're healers' kits.
I'll grab them while I'm...
You still manage. There are still 3 potions that are not broken.
And I'll grab them too.
You look, and 4. You think 4 broke. This is the bottom drawer.
Okay, the bottom drawer. So 3 potions and 2 healers kits.
I was wondering if you were going to force that drawer, and you did.
it wouldn't be
Yeah,
a bad idea
well-
to hand those round.
Yeah, I will.
Well, you don't know what they are.
Oh, just as much the healer's kit, if anything. Because that's
Yeah,
really
true.
good to stabilize people.
And then there is a top drawer as well.
Before
Yeah.
you force that,
Yes.
there are other means to get in this.
It looks like it was one lock for both drawers.
Oh, okay.
So it's now that it's been forced.
We do have these tools now. Not that
Yeah, but Tweak's not here.
Yeah.
He's gone.
other people
He's gone
can
after
use
the
them.
butterflies.
I might not know exactly how to use them, but I'm still pretty decent at it.
All right, where do you want to be all fancy with your thieves' tools?
No, you've already broken it, so it's all good.
Oh, okay. All right. So what's in this last drawer?
You see a book and some inkpots and other writing implements.
Is it how to read Dwarvish?
Does not appear to be.
Damn.
Are you going to check it out?
Yeah, definitely.
It appears to be more of like a logbook, like an inventory logbook, stock book. You can sort of make that out, even though it is in Dwarvish.
Too easy.
Doesn't look particularly interesting. But, you know, if you're really into that sort of thing, you could probably figure out some stuff for the history here.
It could be handy for while we're traveling through here. So sweet. So I did well.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I mean, yeah, 4 potions got broken, but you still have 3 potions. It does look like the 3 potions, if you have a look around, it does look like there were 3 types of potions. There was 2 of one type, 1 of another type, and 4 of one type. Only the 3 of the 4 remain. The 2 other ones and the 1 other one are all destroyed.
Fair enough.
You might have 3 of the most generic potions, but they don't seem to look the same as the healing potion that you got out of the wall, which has an obvious first aid thing. In fact, 2 of the potions in the drawer look like they were also healing potions. Like, one looks like something else, and then you have 3 left of this other one
So
that you
we
don't
might have
recognize.
to wait until our Tweak is back, so you can have a look at it.
It's a pretty good haul, even with the broken potions.
Yeah.
You got some new stuff. I think that skill challenge was fun. Yeah. There is this silver pendant. Someone could try to fix that.
Oh, I collected the jeweler's tools in that pendant, so maybe when we get a chance to rest, I might try and play around with that. So I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good little call. I think that's where we'll end this episode of the Higher Lows podcast, and we'll see you all next week as we hit into the next decade of episodes. The next decade? Set of 10. We'll break off another 10. Have a good week, everyone. Bye. That's it for this episode of the Higher Lows podcast. If you'd like to get in touch, you can find us on Twitter at Higher Lows with underscores between the words, or you can find me at Feepster.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed listening, please leave us a 5-star rating and review, which is one of the best ways you can support us. You can also join the discussion on our Reddit and Facebook pages, or even our Discord server, and maybe play some games with us. Links can be found in the description below. Special thanks to Sirenscape for the background audio and Alex McPherson for providing the opening theme. I hope you can all join us next time as we continue on our adventure.